Hey, welcome back to Who Went. Today's Who Went comes to us from Deus do Digimon. If I got that wrong, I apologize. You asked the question, and because you said Dark Phoenix, ultimately wrote it in a bit of a different language, I had to figure out what you meant by it, and it turns out you meant Dark Phoenix. The Dark Phoenix, in this case Jean Grey as the host of the Phoenix, coming Dark Phoenix, versus Franklin Richards. Now, both these characters exist within the same universe. I can't recall if they've ever actually met before, but they're both basically god-tier individuals in their respective universes. The Phoenix Force is basically a cosmic entity that has existed since the beginning of the universe, or at least the Marvel universe. It is basically the living embodiment of life in the universe, but through life comes destruction, so it constantly burns and consumes in order to keep itself going. The Phoenix Force is nigh omnipotent, however, is limited in indeterminate. So, however, it is limited in undetermined and unidentified ways as seems to suit its current mission and purpose. So basically, whatever its purpose is, it pretty much has omnipotence towards that purpose. But otherwise, it's kind of like blind to what's going on around it. As the White Phoenix of the Crown was able to warp reality on a universal scale. This was not the result of divergence, but rather the effect of reality manipulation, which changed history. Future Life Force Tap. The Phoenix Force can tap into the energy provided by Life Force reserved for future generations, thus denying them existence. Phoenix Force also possesses limitless cosmic energy. With or without a host, is one of the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe, capable of existing in any plane, timeline, or dimensional existence. That being said, it always seems to seek out a host because it seems to be stronger with a host. Its abilities include concussive force that blasts, quantum singularity. It can transmigrate through time and space by folding its energy back into itself, causing it to collapse akin to a black hole. It then reforms itself upon reaching destination, much like a phoenix of ancient myth. Energy absorption. It can direct and manipulate and fully control any type of energy. Life force control. It can control and manipulate the life and death itself, such as it can take the life energy from something, rendering it dead, or vice versa, basically resurrecting the dead. Psionic Nexus. As the nexus or center of all psychic energy throughout the cosmos, the host attains nigh infinite powerful mental abilities, including telepathy, empathy, telekinesis, and often seeks other hosts with psionic abilities. Nate Grey, Jean Grey, the White Queen, Cuckoos, so forth and so on. When bonded with a host, the Phoenix Force vastly strengthens and amplifies all of their powers while doing the same for it. Matter transmutation. They can manipulate and transmute matter on a subatomic level. Cosmic teleportation. Teleport to any point in the universe. Disintegration waves. They can consume and remove a near infinite amount of molecules per second. Resurrection force. It can resurrect anyone it wishes with near infinite powers, as it's the embodiment of life and death itself. Immortality. The Phoenix Force is immortal and cannot be destroyed. It's indestructible and cannot actually be destroyed. After its death in the Avengers vs. X-Men, it was said to be destroyed, but it happens many times. The entity never truly dies. It reforms in an egg and eventually rehatches. Cosmic pyrokinesis. Create cosmic flames under any condition, even the impossible ones such as vacuum, space, or underwater. Teleportation manipulation, temporal manipulation, can manipulate past, present, and future across large temporal distances and with a profound knowledge of the causal effects of her actions will have. Atemokinesis is capable of manipulating and creating cosmic weather, including cosmic storms, solar flares, geomagnetic storms, cosmic rays, coronal mass injection, and black holes. Existence mastery. It possesses total control over the entire existence. Entire existence, as shown by the White Phoenix of the Crown. It can warp the reality, bring anything into existence, freely manipulate all existing things, and return them to nothingness when their purpose is extinguished. Its immeasurable cosmic powers abilities appear to be at their strongest and most powerful when bonded to Jean Grey, which is the Dark Phoenix, which is what we're using. Now, weaknesses. It is, for some reason, weak to chaos magic. When Cyclops was possessed by the Phoenix, he received a high harm when he touched Scarlet Witch, as well as Emma Frost, who was also possessed at the time, suffered when she telepathically detected her presence. As the Phoenix Force gained more portions, it became less effective. Essentially, chaos magic as a whole going up against the Phoenix Force might not do anything, but when the Phoenix Force is separated between so many hosts, it actually can really hurt it. And Iron Fist energy from Kung Lung. In the dragon Xiaolong was able to hurt Cyclops when he was possessed by the Phoenix. It was said by the Watcher that dragons beat the Phoenix, but there was no evidence to show that. So maybe the energy, something about the energy of the chi from the dragon was able to hurt it. So yeah, the Phoenix is freaking haxed. That being said, Franklin Richard is also haxed. In fact, he is considered a alpha or omega level mutant, depending on which, or beyond omega, depending on what classification you go with. He's a high threat level. He is considered most of the time to be on the level of Celestials, including by Galactus himself. During this as an adult, he was able to basically make Galactus his herald. The child of Franklin and Valeria combined proved powerful enough to capture and restore the very essence of Galactus that was hidden at the heart of eternity, effectively resurrecting him. By combining the abilities of his present and future selves, Franklin was able to empower and control a previously defeated Galactus to destroy 2 Celestials. Also, during the same battle, the adult Franklin was able to withstand attacks from the Celestials and even destroy one of them. In fact, only an extremely fed Galactus and Reed Richards with the universal entropy gun were capable to perform the feat, while even the ultimate nullifier was unable to destroy one mad Celestial, though it could be attributed to the wielder's weak mind. An adult version of Franklin was once described as the great enemy of the Omniversal Order. Keep that in mind. He was described as an omniversal threat. So basically, his abilities include Mentifery, ability to manipulate reality on a pocket universe scale with his imagination and thoughts. After regaining his powers from a temporal loss, first thing Franklin did with his powers was to create another pocket universe. Franklin Richards, one of the famous scenes from comics is young Franklin. They're just creating a universe with his, just in his crib. You need to just create a universe. Particle energy manipulation. Ability to manipulate and emit dynamic forces as well as rearrange and manipulate matter on a quantum level. Under the guidance of his older self, he once, for example, stabilized a sun. Once he even turned the assault of hostile Celestials into a harmless flowers. Franklin is also able to time travel to the past to meet his past self. Psionic abilities include as Psylord to demonstrate a wide variety of psionic powers. Even as a kid, he's at least a remarkable resistance to psionic celestial assault, which is beyond what you're going to see with Professor X or Earthbound Jean Grey without the Phoenix Force or an Emma Frost. So that's a lot. Telekinesis powers enable him to levitate, manipulate living beings, animate objects, and some extent energy psionically. He allows him to fly. Bioblast, ability to fire enormous powerful energy blasts which generate from his body's extrasensory potential. They were able to temporarily destroy the Demon Lord Mephisto with his own realm. Molecular manipulation, able to rearrange molecule structures and energies even on a cosmic scale. Telepathy, he can read minds, project his own thoughts on others' minds with an unlimited radius. His notable abilities include illusions, cloaking, mind link, camouflage, mind control, mind possession, mind alteration, amnesia, psychic shield, psychic blast, astral projection, mental detection, and mind transferal. Precognitive dreams. He's basically able to have visions of the future. Self-dream projection. Ability to place himself in a trance-like state while remaining fully conscious. While he's in the state, he can project an intangible ghost-like image of himself from another location. Fundamental force manipulation. He has displayed the ability to manipulate the 4 fundamental forces of the universe on a potentially cosmic scale. The ability to allow him to rearrange matter to create other configurations or even transmute elements and manipulate space-time to a degree by using gravity to distort them. Energy constructs, just creating energy constructs, has superhuman durability. Even as a kid, he displayed remarkable resistance to damage. When he was knocked unconscious, he managed to survive a direct celestial assault with minimal damage. So, here's the thing. Reading off what they're capable of, I would, in theory, want to give this to the Phoenix. Her abilities seem to be a bit more vast and varied. But the thing is, the Phoenix isn't a multiversal. I mean, the Phoenix can go to other dimensions, but another dimension isn't another universe. That's the thing about the versal variants. You have universal, which is one single. You have multiversal, meaning variant. You have omniversal, which means the whole shebang. Then you would have things even beyond that, including outerversal, which means you exist beyond any form of normal universes. You're your own interior entirely. The Phoenix is one of the strongest individuals in the Marvel Universe, but that, I think, is where the problem kind of lies, is that it's a universal threat. It can do all these things on a universal scale, but it's not a multiversal threat. It's not it's present, even though it can technically it can do some dimensional teleportation if it so chooses to. It's not, especially when it possesses a host, it's not truly capable of that on a grand scale beyond just dimensional. If it really wants to, it can go through space and time and fully. It can go into other dimensions if it really needs to. It's one of those kind of like, not last resort. It's one of those things that really doesn't do it that often. Whereas Franklin Richards can do that. He can literally create universes on his own. It's one of those things where it's his level of reality warping seems to be on a high, especially when you go into like his adult form and the full capabilities of what he's, full ability or full spectrum of what he's capable of. It seems to be the things that they can do. His seem to be, at least in certain aspects, on a much greater scale than the Dark Phoenix itself. So as these two met in a fight, there's going to be a lot of blows traded back and forth when none of them really able to get the upper hand on the other. One might try to manipulate the other's molecules, the other would just kind of negate that and, throw it right back at them. Energy blast, not going to matter. Let's see, here's the thing, any sort of mental attacks, I really don't think are going to matter that much in this fight. And that's kind of from the Phoenix Force, which again is a psionic nexus, and being merged with Jean Grey, a powerful psychic in her own right, which theoretically makes her one of the most dangerous psychics in the world, in the universe, really. And yet, if he's capable of holding off a Celestial without too much trouble, and that's just a young Franklin Richards, adult Franklin Richards could probably hold off the Phoenix Force without too much issue. So it comes down to the finite abilities of what they're capable of and their powers. And I think Franklin Richards' reality warping is just on a higher plane on a different tier than even the Phoenix Forces. And the Phoenix Force is on a completely different tier than most individuals. That's honestly a fair question. I don't know how the Phoenix Force would fare against something like the Infinity Gauntlet. I would assume that they're kind of on par with each other, but the Infinity Gauntlet has a couple extra abilities, like with the Soul Stone, and with the think words here. But technically, the Phoenix Force has abilities to a certain extent with throughout all the other stones, except I think, even the Soul Stone, because she can bring the dead back to life. I think the Phoenix Force is probably on par, but I think the Gauntlet still outmatches the Phoenix Force on some level. Regardless, I think Franklin Richards. Now here's the thing: Franklin Richards only has the durability, only has the normal physical strength of a boy or human boy of his age and height with moderate regular exercise. But that being said, he can probably increase his abilities with reality warping. There is one glaring weakness, though, that Franklin Richards does have, and that he can burn out his powers through overuse. So that means if he is going to end the fight, he does have to end it within a relatively short time, because if he lets the fight go on too long, he's not going to have any energy to come back again and come back and finish the fight, which the Phoenix Force will decimate him at that point. So Franklin Richards is not without his own flaws. So ultimately, I do think Richards would, especially an adult Franklin Richards, because he would probably know how dangerous the Phoenix is, so he'd probably want to just take care of it quick. Maybe creating a pocket dimension, another universe entirely, and just trapping the Phoenix in there, at least temporarily. So I probably would go Franklin Richards in this fight, but there's a very real scenario where the Phoenix Force completely takes the win. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it's the Phoenix Force or do you think it's Franklin Richards? The problem is both of them have very comparable power sets to each other, even though one is a cosmic embodiment of life and death, and the other is just a little boy who happens to be a cosmic, universal, multiversal threat. So take your pick from that. My money's going on the kid, but I'd be an adult, whatever. My money's on Franklin Richards. But who do you think takes the win? Put in the comments below, let me know. Until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything new on the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. We'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. See you later, folks. Have a good one.